to which Dely responded with a devastating knight d5 move. This is a standard knight sacrifice in Sicilian defense, the idea of which is to open up the e-file and target the opponent's king. Hello chess lovers, Suren here, and in this video I want to share with you a brilliant attacking game played by Hungarian international master Peter Dely. Although I have to tell you that Dely would earn international master title only a year later in 1962. Meanwhile, this game was played in 1961 in Budapest at Maroczy Memorial. In this game, Dely's opponent is Dutch chess grandmaster Hein. Dely, who had white pieces, opened up with e4, to which Donner responded with Sicilian defense c5. Dely himself was a Sicilian player, and there is even a line called after him. I guess you have heard about Kasparov Dely gambit. Knight f3 e6, d4 c takes d4, knight takes d4, and a6. Black is going for counter variation. With this move, Black is taking under control the b5 square, not allowing knight b5, and is preparing b5 advance. Knight c3, queen c7. Black is first taking under control the central e5 square, and only then later, if needed, can go for the development of the kingside knight. g3. Other popular alternatives are bishop d3, bishop e2, or bishop e3, but in our game white prepared the fianchetto of the kingside bishop. In return we have b5, bishop g2, bishop b7, white castled kingside, d6, rook e1, knight d7, a4, challenging black's pawn structure on the queen side. After b takes a4 we have rook takes a4 and knight gf6. Finally, on move 11, Black is developing his kingside knight, but playing bishop e7 is better. When facing the upcoming stores, the bishop can be very useful on the e-file. And now if we move like bishop h3 with the threat of bishop takes e6, then Black can play knight c5. But in our game, after rook takes a4, we have knight f6, to which Dely responded with a devastating knight d5 move. This is a standard knight sacrifice in Sicilian defense, the idea of which is to open up the e-file and target the opponent's king. Later in 1989, Maroczy would also make the same move in the same position against Hans Hofmann. It is also a very spectacular game, and I will cover it as well. So Black decided to accept the piece sacrifice, and we have e takes d5, discover check, knight e5. In the game played between Chiburdanidze and Hofmann mentioned above, Hofmann played king d8, and the game went on in the following move order. Again, white has a very dangerous attack and a winning position. As I've already mentioned, we will cover later that game, but meanwhile in our game we have knight e5, which steps into a pin, and now white will win back the sacrificed knight. Black castled queenside, and f takes e5, d takes e5, and rook takes e5. The fact that black king is vulnerable makes this rook on e5 untouchable. If queen takes e5, then bishop f4 can follow, and yeah, the game is over. In our game, after rook takes e5, Black played bishop d6 and rook e3. That's why Black moved away his king from the dangerous c-file. But anyways, we see rook c3, queen d7, and knight c6 check. I have to tell you that according to Stockfish, even in here, knight c6 is playable, and Stockfish considers it a stronger continuation, but in the game we have knight c6 check only after rook c3. Bishop takes c6. Well, if we move like king a8, then queen d4 can be very strong. If bishop c8, then bishop f1. This is a total destruction, and already the engine shows checkmate in 7. In our game, after knight c6 check, we have bishop takes c6, and now you have to be very careful, because if you recapture with a d pawn, then you can step into this deadly bishop c5 check, and now it's Black who is winning. You are losing your queen. That's why to bishop takes c6, white answered with rook takes a6. Bishop takes d5. A desperate move. Bishop b7 could prolong black's resistance, but even in this case, black has no chance of saving the game. White has this beautiful rook takes d6 move. If queen takes d6, then bishop f4. Giving up the queen could somehow prolong black's resistance, but in the game we have bishop takes d5, which is even worse. Here comes rook b6 check, bishop b7, and already at this point the engine shows forced mate in 6 moves. As we have reached the critical position, you can pause the video and try to find white's next moves. Ready? Well, you know guys, whenever I'm showing an Immortal game, a queen sacrifice should be made in it, and we have it. Queen takes d6 is on the board. Queen takes d6 and rook takes b7 check, and now the two rooks together with the bishop will finish up black king. King a8 and rook b4 discover check. And also it's very important to put the rook on b4 in order to block this diagonal. King a7 and here comes rook a3 check. Queen a6, and now there are two ways of checkmating into. Of course, you can also switch your last piece into the attack and announce a checkmate with it, but white decided to keep that bishop on the initial square, and we have rook b7 check, king a8, after which white announced a checkmate by winning black queen. There we have it, a marvelous checkmate is on the board. Look at this beauty, guys. A very impressive game by Peter Dely, which I hope that you enjoyed greatly. In the end, a chess puzzle for you, where the task is to find the winning line for white. It's white to move, and I will wait for your answers in the comment section. Thanks for watching. If you liked this game, feel free to share it with your friends as well. Let them know about this beauty, which seems like to be a little known game. Well, of course, this deserves to be famous, you know. In the end, also feel free to check out these suggestions, and I will see you in my next video. Take care.